All right, we're live and rolling. I'm gonna keep letting people in from our waiting room. I got all my incense going. All right. I'm so impressed. Look at you all here. On time, we got 50 people already. It's only 4 minutes past. Good job. Okay, we're gonna give everybody time. So, oh, look at you all with your cameras on. Thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it, I love you. What you're gonna need for tonight to set yourself up is focus. Focus. So I love and appreciate if you're willing to turn your camera on and I can see you. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Beth. Oh man, this is so fun. Because then I know you're with me. And that's crucial and important for this work. Lots of things that I lead, I'm totally okay if you're like washing dishes and doing all the other stuff. But this, you're gonna wanna be here and present for. Katie, Mary, all right. So close away the distractions. Hi, Sid. Okay, close away all the distractions. What happens is right when we're about to do something that changes us, that pushes us outside of our envelope or something that's new or something that's gonna help us grow, even if it's a really like happy growth and peaceful and loving, which this is very much designed to be, sometimes resistance jumps up and is like, ah, something new, quick. And what resistance does is it doesn't say like, abort, abort, abort. It says, hey, you know what should go on your grocery list? You should check Instagram right now. Have you seen what's in your email? Because it's clever and it knows how to entice you, right? How to get you like, and we're all so addicted to like that quick flash bait, whatever it's called, clickbait of life now. Everything should happen real quick. That to sit for 90 minutes seems like, wait, what? You want me to do what? So I promise you, we will keep you here and engaged. If it's hard for you to sit still, like me, then I recommend having a journal out so that you can just be doodling or writing. You're welcome to fidget, move around the room, stretch, jump, do whatever you need to do. But I highly recommend closing all the windows and putting your phone on silent in the other room and like locking the door if you have family. Or dogs. I put up a baby gate so that dogs can't come scratch on my door. All right. And then you're gonna be able to get cozy tonight. So if you want a cup of tea, you want a blanket, anything you need, get the kitty, snuggle up. And this is gonna be beautiful and fun and peaceful. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Jenny. Oh, this is so fun. All right, I'm so glad you're all here. Hi, Toy. All right, we're gonna give everybody another little minute here as people are still filtering in. All right, and then we're gonna talk about, let me pull my document up. Oh, no, that's a mushroom tort recipe. That's not what we're looking for. Okay. So we're gonna start with a quick grounding in and opening up our sacred space. So an upright seat is nice for this one, but if you're comfy reclining, stay reclined. It won't break you. Little reminder to your nervous system. For those of you who are new to me or to the types of healing that I do, it's not supposed to hurt. It's not supposed to be painful. I'm not about like getting in and tearing out something. I like things gentle and loving, and I think things should feel good. So pleasurable, peaceful. This should be cozy, refreshing, yummy, like snuggling into multiple down blankets, if that's your thing, or like fuzzy. That's how tonight should feel. So just a reminder to your nervous system if you are worried or concerned that this is new. Okay. So closing your eyes, if you want to put your hands on your body, you can. If you want to rest your hands in your lap. If it's not, doesn't feel restful to you to close your eyes, you can just let your gaze be lazy. Take a breath or two, however your body feels like breathing. Your breath breathes you most of the time. So in this moment, just be aware of it, witness it. It's okay if you're still going a million miles an hour from the day. It's total permission. It's okay if you're feeling tired. It's okay if you're excited. Just be with your breath. And as we open up sacred space, we call upon the magic and the majesty of this earth. We call upon source and creation of all that is. We call upon every guide and angel, every totem or spirit that is there for each of us. We call upon our ancestors, those who walked this land before us, the rivers, the mountains, the oceans, the animals, the insects, the trees, the plants. Every aspect of this incredible earth. We call on the winds, the waters, the earth, and the fire element to aid us tonight in this beautiful healing, releasing and welcoming in. And I want you to take a moment to just scan and be witness. Ask the question of yourself, what's real for me right now? And without any judgment, with pure curiosity, witness what's real in your system. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Focus on the emptiness of your breath. Notice if there's a sensation that arises in your body. Notice what emotion is present. And when you see it, make a note in your mind and then come back to your breath, come back to being that curious witness. What's real for me right now? Is there an emotion further down, further underneath? Is there physical sensation beyond what you first noticed? Just in this moment, what's real? And then everybody take one big breath in and a big, audible, delicious sigh out. Whenever you're ready, take a few more of those if you want to. And if you'd like, you can come back to eyes open. All right. So, hang on one second. How do I have this many tabs open? Good gravy. Here it is. All right. I want to talk for a second about your nervous system. And this some of what's been happening this past year. And that might seem a little redundant at this point, right? We've already been through it. First, while I'm talking away here, I'd love if you would share in the chat box what is present right now. What are you feeling right now? What's real for you? So we'll see those coming in. I'd also love if anybody wants to share, how is your nervous system doing coming out of last year? How is your nervous system? No shame. Some of you are going to be feeling amazing and excited and refreshed, and some of you are going to be like, not that. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about this. And the reason that I want to talk about it, tense, anxious, scared, neck and shoulder tension, uncertainty, weary, grateful, nervous system is on edge, digestion issues, exhausted, frustrated, depleted. Love, I got the message that that's what's real. Hot damn. Amen to that, Donna. Contentment in the moment, anger, nausea, and pain from the last year, cold and tense, fear and grief. Yep, everybody. Heartache, longing, fear, anger, excited, emptiness. Yeah. Spiritually, physically tired. Girl. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So confused and numb. Yeah. Headache, worried, grateful, anxious, excited, hopeful, drained, content, grateful. Okay. I think everybody's relating to a lot of these. So the reason I want to talk a little bit about our nervous systems and our endocrine systems and what's happening in our systems. You hear me use the word system a lot, and I'm talking about, when I say it, like the global you, right? Mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, all the systems of your physical body, all of those. And I want to talk about this, oh wow, range from extreme joy to deep sorrow. Yeah. Trouble sleep. How many people had trouble sleeping this year? Yeah. Yeah, fuck that. All right. So the reason we're going to talk about this is because if you have started saying, or if you are about to start saying in the next days or weeks or even 6 months from now, well, I don't know why I'm feeling this way still because it's over. That happened back then. I should be. Anytime you say I should be, you're wrong. That's a setup for a false statement, like every time. And I want to like hit that home for us a little bit. There was more depression and anxiety than I have ever seen. I'm like a pretty keen eye for those things, and my friends and family and people in the world. I don't think I talked to a single person this past year, who wasn't experiencing something that I would have called at least mild anxiety or depression. Most of them were saying something like that to me. Some people weren't. It was a lot on our systems. You know, a lot of you have heard me talk about, I'm calling it the upgrade that we went through, like when your phone gets an upgrade, you know, big update. So we went through something as humans that was this big, like, evolutionary shift. So of course our systems are like trying to catch up. What is this new upgrade? You know, your phone gets real glitchy sometimes right after. It's like trying to catch up. That's us, except your phone doesn't update quickly because it has to power all the way down and then power all the way up. And we don't get to do that as humans. So it has to happen real time live while we're still trying to like feed ourselves and take care of things and go to work. Meanwhile, part of us is offline, like going through this big upgrade. Okay. So it's challenging. And then you add in on top of it all the other shit that happened, whatever happened in your own personal life, plus all the collective energy. People who have never, ever, ever thought of themselves as sensitive, most of you have, or maybe called themselves an empath, or even ever worried about anybody else's energy or the energy of anything else, were feeling it. It was so intense that the energy on the planet, we were all like, what the fuck is happening? Only most people didn't know to call it that. It just was coming out in weird ways, sideways. So part of what I want to tell you guys is a little bit about what does what are some of the usual but also unusual symptoms of depression and anxiety? And then I want to talk a little bit about crisis mode. When we are operating in crisis mode, and crisis mode is a good thing. It's great that we have that. It's crucial that we have it. It's made for when we're running from a bear, you know. It's not made for 2020. It's not made for that. And we've adapted, which is really impressive, to be able to use our crisis mode long term, even though it was made to be used in tiny little spurts, you know? Fight or flight's supposed to be quick. It's not supposed to be sustained. And animals are made to transition out of fight or flight. You see like a gazelle get chased by a lion and then it goes like, whoa, afterwards. And then it goes back to drinking and it's totally fine. It completely reset its system because it had 2 minutes or 30 seconds of being chased and almost dying, big dump of adrenaline and cortisol. And then it shook it all off and then it went back to normal. But we don't do that as humans. We don't dissipate it and we don't let it stop. We just maintain this hum of emergency mode a lot of the time. And our stress level, especially in this country, is a wild problem. But 2020 took it to this like crazy level. And when we're in crisis mode, there's benefit, this beautiful benefit. Some of you know that my partner got really, really sick in early 2019 for like 4 or 5 months, was like really scary emergency rooms and doctors and no one knew what was going on and it was awful. So for those 4 or 5 months, whatever it was, I became emergency nurse, caregiver, medical advocate, running my business, helping run his business because he was incapacitated, all these things, right? And facing like, what's going to happen to my partner. So emergency mode was really important. Crisis mode got me through all those things, cool, calm, and collected. After it was over, I fell apart. That was when I was like, okay, everything's all right now. I got to process this. Oh, motherfucker, this was really intense. And it took me the repercussion in my endocrine system. You hear people talk about adrenal fatigue, which is really a dysfunction of your HPA axis. It doesn't matter, whatever, but it's the hypothalamus pituitary. It's the whole system that works with your adrenals and says, you send out cortisol and she needs to be able to run from a bear and do all of these different things, which regulates like your weight and your sleep, when you get up and when you have energy, when you like feel ready for bed, all these really helpful things. That whole system goes haywire and it takes a long time for it to reset. And I'm attuned, because I've been through this multiple times in my life, I'm attuned to that. So I knew to go in and sit down with a good naturopath and be like, I'm in total cortisol dysregulation. Like my system is jacked and we need to like help it to get back to normal. You notice it in things like hypervigilance, where you're like waiting all the time for the shoe to drop. You can't get into a deep sleep because you wake up real quick if anything's happening, because you feel like you have to be like on and ready all the time. Let me tell you some of the symptoms of anxiety you may not have known. Indigestion, physical pain on your skin, like your skin's on fire for no reason, sunburn, pain in your joints, pain in your muscles, unexplained. Vision problems, like things floating across your vision, numbness randomly, rashes all over your body or in random places for no reason. Those are all unusual symptoms of anxiety. Let's do depression. Anger, outbursts of rage, aggression, weight loss, weight gain, insomnia, lethargy, anxiety. Is everybody like, maybe I did experience some of that last year? Symptoms of being in crisis mode, which these also kind of like overlap with the others. Withdrawing from relationships, which I think everybody did at points last year. Panic attacks, nightmares, night terrors, or just that like you go from sound asleep to all of a sudden you're wide awake and it's 3 a.m. and you're like, Maybe you're stressing for no reason. That was probably a panic attack, mild, maybe big, or maybe you're just really creative. Oh my gosh, we should get up and do all these things. And you're like, shut up, body, go back to sleep. No, we're wide awake. Ah. Everybody experienced a lot of that. That's your cortisol dysregulation. Aggression, thoughts of self-harm, exhaustion, and self-medicating with substances, food, Netflix. So curious if anybody experienced any of these last year. Yep, yep, me too. Me too, I was a good poster child for all this stuff. So it took me until, it took almost a year, 1 year, for me to get all the way back to, okay, I can tell that my endocrine system is back to normal. I feel good in my hormones. The excess weight I put on, cortisol puts on excess weight, by the way, especially around the middle. If anybody's like, what the fuck is this spare tire? I was like, excuse me, what's happening? My body doesn't look like my body. Like the shape was different. It wasn't even like how I normally gain weight. It was real weird. That's finally looking back a little bit more like me. I can sleep through the night, no problem. But it took me a full year for that to rebalance itself completely. And it wasn't like I wasn't functioning. I was doing great. This was pretty subtle, but I want you to think about that was like 3 or 4 months in crisis mode, and we all just did most of a year. So please, please be understanding and patient with yourself if you're still tired for a while. Yeah? Okay. Anybody want to share in the chat? Oh, we got people joining. Hi, welcome everybody. Anybody want to share in the chat which of those you felt last year? And then I also want to hear, what are some of the things that you're celebrating from last year? What of those did you experience? Anybody having like an aha moment? And then what are you celebrating from last year? Lots and lots and lots of things to celebrate. I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking how, yeah, sleep issues, lethargy, insomnia, anxiety, muscle tension. I was thinking it's a little bit like we all just completed like 20 back-to-back Ironman triathlons. You know, and those are crazy on their own anyway. Like they blow my mind that people do them. And it's sort of like we did that all year long, except when you get to the end of one of those, hopefully you celebrate, you know, experiencing everything you said, but it's been going on my entire adult life. All of the things, anger, outbursts of anger. Did I mention there was anger? And crying all the time. Yeah, mad and crying. Anybody else can relate to that? Yep. Celebrating time in nature and with friends. Yeah, celebrating clarity, unmasking the truth, faith in the process. Nice. Nice. Celebrating a better stability with my mental health. Through the struggle, I have grown with myself. Hell yeah. Nice. Nicely done. So if we had just completed 20 back-to-back triathlons, we would not expect ourselves to get up and do a lot of shit, right? And we would definitely celebrate real hard, and we'd probably give ourselves lots of carbs. If I think about like what would happen to me if I actually did one of those, which I have no intention of ever doing, we'll see. Maybe I get real frisky when I'm like 80, but I would be like, I want everyone to celebrate me, and I want pasta endlessly. That's what I imagine. Maybe I would just go to sleep, but I would expect that I would give lots and lots of rest. Oh, look at this. This is beautiful. Celebrating self-love and acceptance, healthy boundaries. Fuck yeah. There was anxiety and extreme sadness, celebrating new hobbies and volunteer. Truly learning how to be myself. Oh, that's the best. Okay, so I want to do a little celebration here. Little celebration. So I want you to tap somewhere. You could tap on the outside of your hand. If you know the tapping points you want to work through them, you can. I like to tap right here just on my chest. And I am a fan of alternate back and forth. Bap, 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 bap. If that confuses you, whatever, who cares? Just do whatever feels easy, okay? All right. Oh, I minimized nothing so I could see you. Here we go. So you're going to repeat after me. Of course, I felt, fill in the blank of the things that you experienced last year. It makes perfect sense with the circumstances. I forgive myself. I now take everything I gained from these experiences and I release the experiences with love. I no longer need to carry them. And I no longer need to live this way. I know parts of this release may be swift, and parts may take more time. And that's perfectly okay. I congratulate myself for making it through. I celebrate myself for, fill in the blank. It's going to be exciting to see who I become with all of this growth. And then just rest your hands over your heart, palms face in, and close your eyes and just feel that buzzing in your system. Tapping like that is such a simple thing, but it actually rewires the neural nets in our brain, repatterns our brain. It's remarkable. Just take a big breath, exhale another one of those yummy audible sighs. Okay. Fabulous. Okay. I'm so happy that you're all here. We're going to shift into doing some healing. Let me take a second to piece through this. If you want to snuggle yourself in, feel free. If you want a cozy blanket or whatever. For those of you who are new to me, we have a lot of people on this call. I'm Cara. I've been doing this work a really long time. I started when I was 18 studying this stuff, and I'm very grateful for the circumstances in life that led me to that. And I bring in several different healing modalities. So we're going to work with 4 different ones today: sacred soul alignments, theta healing, sacred light, and one that's too old to have a name, which is pretty cool, right? And the way that all of these work is that energy is being funneled to you, not directly from me, but directly from source, God, goddess, universe, creation, great spirit. Enter your favorite word there. If I use a word you don't like, just like bleep it and edit in your brain. The nice thing is that all that is doesn't give a shit what we call it. Doesn't care, not offended, not picky, just loving us, just loving all the time. So that unconditional love, that energy that runs through everything, is where all of this will come from. And I'll be calling it in and witnessing, and I'll be witnessing all of you receiving. As we do this, Your job is to receive. And the only thing that you need to do to receive is say yes. You get to say yes all the way along each new healing that I offer if you want to, like a buffet. So you can say, yes, I don't want that one. Yes, no, I don't like fish. You know, pick and choose. Or you can just give a blanket yes, I want all this stuff I already know. Let it all in. Please don't, I love you, Mary. I love you too. Please don't operate heavy equipment during this call. Seriously. Or directly after. I had a client yell at me one time, rightfully so. She tried to drive after one of our sessions. I never really, I mean, I assume it was a one-on-one session, so I don't usually have to like tell people. But even after the session, she had driven to be away from her kids. And then she was like, I don't know if I could get home. I sat in the car for 45 minutes and I still was so out of it. It was a miracle that I made it home. You need to tell people. You're right. You're right. No, don't drive right after this if you can avoid it, please. Sometimes it makes you sleepy. Sometimes it makes you fall asleep. That's okay too. We will do some different visualizations within this. So if you can stay awake, it's juicy. But if you fall asleep, it's still working. Don't worry. Sometimes it's nice. Our subconscious needs to like get us out of the way to get the big work done, which is totally fine. And you'll all get a recording automatically in the email, so you can go back and re-listen to this. And I will also ask my team to pull just the audio clip of the recording so that you can like save it on your phone and use it. It's really nice to fall asleep too. So for everybody who's been experiencing sleep issues, download it to your phone. And if you wake up in the middle of the night, put it on and like you're out like a light. Most of these modalities operate within the theta brainwave, which is the dreaming brainwave. And there's a bunch of science behind, like they've documented all this stuff a lot. I like to prove things myself. So that's my own, I like that part. So sometimes they make you feel sleepy, dreamy. Some people, sometimes they give you a bunch of energy and you're going to be all like riled up after this, but most of you are going to be like chilled out, really feeling good, snuggly. Sometimes you feel a little spiritually high, like, woo, life's great. I don't know why I was worried, which is perfect. Before we start, does anybody have any questions? You can. You can't wave at me because there's too many of you. So there's a hand raise feature somewhere that I think will alert me. Or you can try waving. And if you're on my screen, I'll see you. Or you could type in the chat, I guess that's easy. Everybody good? Okay. These healings will continue. You can lay down if you want to, or you could stay seated. Totally up to you, Sid. If you feel like you might fall asleep, I would say stay a little upright, just because the visualization's yummy. Reactions have a wave emoji. What does that mean, Tommy? Like in here, we have a wave emoji? Oh, in this app, I see. Yeah. That like wave hand raise thingy is at the bottom if anybody needs it. Okay, good, thanks. I should know how to use this better, but it is what it is. Oh, good timing, Melissa just joined. All right. No other questions? Everybody's ready. Let's do this, shall we? So we're gonna clear away some of, and I've been asking for input from, well, from source, but also from Facebook, from all of you on Facebook. So I'm incorporating into this the things that everybody was posting on Facebook. Okay, here we go. Close your eyes when you're ready. Or let your gaze be lazy. Find a point to stare at and let your gaze just drift. Bring your awareness to the center of your chest. Bring your awareness to your hips. Notice your hips on the seat. Soft, flexible roots traveling down from the bottoms of your feet, moving with ease, shining right through every layer of the earth and plugging in at that center point in the heartbeat of Mother Earth. Visualize this space however feels most nourishing and soothing to you. Maybe it's a warm golden brown, or a cool crystalline blue. In this heartbeat center, there is liquid golden light, pure earth energy, pure love. And that liquid golden light begins to rise up your columns of light or your roots. Lickety split right to the bottoms of your feet where you can welcome it in. Let that liquid golden light rise up your ankles. Every cell in your body slurping this energy up, getting grounded and nourished and nurtured, just like a plant drinking water and nutrients from the soil. Liquid golden light moving up past your knees, up past your hips, filling your torso, maybe even spiraling up your spine, filling your chest, spilling down your arms to every fingertip, and then rising to the tip top of your head. Visualize some of this liquid golden light above your head, forming a beautiful ball of light. And this ball of light becomes like your spaceship. Imagine yourself inside this ball of light and you say up, 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 and that light spaceship whisks you away from the earth, beyond the atmosphere, out past the solar system, up, 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 passing outside of the Milky Way, stars and galaxies whizzing past you. The scenery is beautiful until you reach the furthest edges of this universe. You begin to move through colors of light, golden lights, every color of the rainbow. Up, up into a soft pink mist that fills you with a sense of compassion and love, and propels you even further into the brightest white iridescent light you have ever seen. Up, up, up you go into the white pearlescent light, pure unconditional love, pure source energy. And your spaceship dissipates away, and it is you and white light. Welcome home. We begin with an unconditional love healing for your system. Say yes to receive. As we move through tonight's healing, you might notice warmth or cool in your body. You might notice shivers or twitches. You might notice goosebumps or yawning, all totally normal. Source is going to remind your system that it is safe in this moment. How to be safe, how to feel safe, how to know when you are safe, and how to settle into safety. Say yes to receive. Take a breath and sigh your exhale. Beautifully done. We begin first by clearing away some of the trauma that is built up, perhaps all of the trauma from last year or even previous. Starting with the guilt and the shame. Anywhere you have felt guilty about actions or reactions, shameful about the ways that you felt or how things went, clearing that away now in divine love and light. Change it. Say yes to receive. Next, we'll bring in a healing for pain. Sometimes pain is a beautiful, sacred healing for us, but oftentimes it's just other people's energy, things that get stuck in our body, a repetitive cycle we get stuck in. Clearing all of that away now, anywhere you are carrying a pattern of pain, a cycle of pain, pain that's not yours to carry or process, an old pain that you are done with or ready to be done with. Say yes to receive. Creator, change it. Beautiful. Next, we disconnect from the trauma, collective trauma and individual trauma. Trauma with a big T and trauma with a little t. The big stuff that happened in your life or in the collective, all the way down to someone who looked at you funny and it hurt your feelings. Anywhere that something got stuck in your system, something triggered a reaction in your system and wasn't able to fully process out, clearing away now. Creator, change it. Also clearing away, many of you carry a belief, conscious or subconscious, Creator says, that you are supposed to, or that it is helpful if you carry part or a lot of collective trauma or ancestral trauma. And although your desire in doing so is brave and kind and loving, it's not your job. Creator will take all of that now. Say yes to surrender it and to release the patterning or the belief that it's your job or responsibility or that you agree to carry it. Everybody take a big breath and a yawn or a sigh or a groan. One more time. That was really big. We're just going to give this all a minute to keep processing. You're doing so good. You've already released so much. And these healings are going to continue for days or weeks or months, operating in the background, clearing for you, gently and with ease. So don't feel rushed. It's not meant to all happen at once. You are doing so good. Next, we bring in a release for oaths, vows, contracts, and agreements pertaining to any of your or collective or ancestral trauma. Any oaths, vows, contracts, or agreements that are causing you additional trauma or have caused you trauma in any capacity. We clear those and mark them finished and complete now. In divine love and light, Creator, change it. Yes, yes, it is this easy to change a contract and a pattern, even one that is long held, even one that you made before coming, even one that is ancestral. You are a being of free will. You can change your reality at any moment that you desire. Say yes to make the change. Magnificent. Yes. Time for a healing for grief now. There is a grief. Someone said that it hangs heavy. So we ask to clear the grief from this past year, the grief from the collective, grief from any and all loss, grief from the things that didn't happen. We clear grief from our children, collectively from our children. Anywhere they have had to carry disappointment this past year, uncertainty, anywhere they have gone hungry or suffered, been lonely, or struggled with the changes in their schooling, in the system. We clear away grief from the collective, from our history, and from your ancestry. We clear away sorrow, and everywhere it is stuck or spinning in your body. Creator, change it. We do a clearing now for hopelessness. This alignment clears away anywhere that you have slipped into or have a pattern of slipping into the feeling of hopelessness. Anywhere that there is lethargy that sometimes feels despondent. Anytime you have looked out at the world and thought, what are we even doing? Or why am I even here? Or maybe I don't want to be here. Clearing away and healing anywhere that there is hopelessness now. In divine love and light, Creator, change it. Clearing away anger and resentment now. Anywhere there is anger built up in your system, anywhere you have resentment from this past year or before, things not going your way, things being snatched away from you, things shifting on a dime, people not being able to be there for you, not having the resources to support you the way that we normally would support one another. Anger or resentment at people in positions you view as powerful, Any and all anger and resentment, clearing away now. Creator, change it. And then next, this is a big one. We're going to bring in an addiction release. Anywhere that your system has become so used to these emotions, grief, sorrow, hopelessness, anger, resentment, fear, anywhere your system has become so used to crisis mode, anxiety, depression, that it is actually addicted to, either mentally or physically, the chemical components of these emotions. Clearing this away now, healing any and all addictions. Creator, change it. Take a few breaths, a few sighs, a few yawns. This is huge work and you're doing so good. I assure you, it will only go as deep as you are ready for. It will only go at the pace you're ready for. There's no need to rush anything. It's working. I can see it. Let's do some healing for not feeling worthy. We're going to bring in a release called the broken release. This alignment helps clear away anywhere that you have the perception that you're broken, damaged, messed up, a straight hot mess. It brings in and replaces that belief with the understanding of your innate Course's definition of your worthiness, which goes something like, you are inherently worthy. Your worthiness is non-negotiable, cannot be changed. There's nothing you can do to earn more of it or to lose any of it. No one else's opinion, including your own, of your worthiness changes it one iota. You are a part of all that is, a piece of the divine, and you are inherently worthy. Say yes to receive. Creator, change it. Clearing away now anywhere you have picked up, perhaps in this last year, or maybe carried for a long time, patterns of self-sabotage. Clearing away all patterns of self-sabotage. Anywhere you get in your own way, Creator, change it. Next, we'll heal anywhere that you believe you have to or are supposed to sacrifice. Anywhere you believe you must sacrifice to be a good person, sacrifice to make good money, sacrifice to get the partner, the promotion, the freedom, the happiness, the worthiness, joy. Anywhere there is a pattern of sacrifice, sacrificing or belief that you will or would have to sacrifice in your system. Clearing away this false information now. Say yes to receive. Creator, change it. Moving on to overthinking, anxiety, and depression. Bringing in a brain balancing for brain chemistry alignment. This alignment helps to actually balance the chemistry of your brain. So helpful. All of those neurotransmitters. helps support with anxiety and depression. Creator, change it. And Creator says, we're going to bring in a belief for you. And that belief is that, yes, you can shift this easily out of depression and anxiety. Many of you carry the belief that it's hard to release those things. It's hard to heal, or it takes a lot of time or a lot of work. And that doesn't have to be the case. So if you would like the belief and the understanding that it is and can be simple and even immediate to shift out of these, say yes now. Beautiful. This gives permission for the healing to begin taking effect right away. Next, we'll bring in a healing for your endocrine system, your nervous system, a healing to balance all hormones, and a balance for your serotonin and neurotransmitters. This is a big one, so everybody take a big breath. In divine love and light, Creator, change it. Let's give that a moment to come all the way online. Whole bunch of healing running in your system right now. You're doing so good. If you feel like you might fall asleep, that's okay. If you feel a little too spaced out, you can always open your eyes. One more big block, and then we're going to move into the fun stuff, the creating. One more block of clearing. I'm going to do some healing now for your expectations from last year, unmet expectations. We're going to bring in a confusion and overwhelm healing. Anywhere you have felt or repetitively feel overwhelm or confusion. Healing for that now, bringing in clarity and peace. Healthy, easy productivity. Feeling fulfilled in all the things you do. Creator, change it. A whole healing for fear now. Fear was one of the most dangerous and destructive things to ripple through the world last year. And sometimes that fear leaves this gripping feeling in our system. Sometimes it leaves havoc in its wake. Healing and resetting that in our system now so that we can operate from a place of relaxation and safety. In divine love and light, Creator, run the healing for fear now. Creator, change it. Excellent, excellent, excellent. You're doing so good. This is big, big work. Last one here. And then the fun stuff. We're running the getting off the karmic wheel alignment. Anywhere you feel like you're stuck on a hamster wheel of your own doing, your own patterns, stuck in that catch-22, continuing to have the unhealthy, toxic relationships, living in financial struggle, feeling that chronic overwhelm, whatever that repetitive story is that you get stuck on the hamster wheel of, maybe one that you learned from your parents or carried forward from your ancestry even, maybe one you've just picked up from society this past year. Clearing all those patterns now, say yes to let them go. In divine love and light, Creator, change it. All right, we're going to goose up the releasing here. So say yes to receive, Relax your system. We're going to do an extra little clearing for everyone. Clearing and healing your grounding space, aligning and healing your chakras. Nicely done. All right, let's plant some seeds for a beautiful new year. I want you to imagine a gold-leafed scroll, rolled up piece of paper, floats down before you. And there's a beautiful pen, and maybe it looks like a quill. And I want you to write out some desires on this piece of paper. And it's okay if you're not sure what you want. It's okay if you don't have it totally hashed out. Maybe you write one thing, maybe you write 10. Visualize in your imagination the words onto the paper, or if the visualization part is hard, then just say them in your mind. I write onto my scroll the following. And at the very bottom of the scroll, I want you to write, or something better, ... And then sign your name with big flourish. And then imagine a little gust of wind in your mind comes and like a little teeny swirl picks up the pen and picks up the piece of paper all coiled up in a scroll and whisks it off out into the ethers. And in your mind's eye, I want you to imagine those desires are now true. Imagine that you're standing at a point in time when all of those things are real. Imagine all of those desires are current and happening. How do you feel? How do you feel? How does it smell? What do you taste? What do you see? I want you to think of the emotions that are evoked in your system. I want you to memorize this feeling. You don't have to memorize it with your head. You memorize it with your body. This feeling right here, right now. Let your body tune to it like an instrument. What is the vibration you are tuning to? What is the emotion? We bring in some healing and alignments now to help integrate into your system this feeling. Free at last, allowing your system true freedom. That you may know freedom in a far bigger way than any human definition. In divine love and light, Creator, change it. Freedom from your past, freedom from your thoughts, freedom from your self-doubt, freedom from any limiting beliefs or patterns. We bring in truth and trust, two of the most important feelings. To stand in your own truth, to know the deeper truth, source's truth, the universe's truth, not the human truth. The truth that you are an infinite being of unconditional love. And trust. How to stand in the place of infinite trust in the universe, trust in your higher self, trust in the all that is. In divine love and light. Creator, please instill this programming now. Creator, change it. Next, we bring in the blessings of the rain alignment, which brings in all of the abundance of a rainfall after a drought. Blessings pouring down over you, pooling on the ground, abundance beyond your wildest dreams with ease and pleasure and fun. Imagine if abundance was so bountiful around you that you could pull on galoshes and go stomping in puddles of abundance. Imagine that your hair was wet with abundance and you could shake your head like a dog and abundance flew in every direction. Imagine that you could throw your arms out and twirl as the abundance fell from the sky all around you, all the time. Creator, instill this patterning now. Creator, change it. Next, we bring in the magic alignment, healing and clearing any patterns that you may have around magic that aren't serving and allowing you to be in the infinite possibility of divine magic. We pair that with the miracles alignment, allowing you to experience and witness, actually notice miracles happening in your life daily, hourly, constantly. What if you lived in a space where you expected miracles every day because they always came? What if you really noticed the miracles that happen for you? In divine love and light, Creator, please run these alignments now. Creator, change it. We're bringing all of this in with the dolphin alignment, which comes with a sense of infinite wisdom and playfulness. Integrating all of your desires in with a sense of silly playfulness. Feel the energy of that effervescent, silly dolphin sound, the splashing and the spinning and the swimming, that pure joy. Pairing that with the alignment Gaia, tuning you to the vibration of Mother Earth in all of her infinite abundance. Repairing any mother wounds and healing that connection you have to the truest, biggest, deepest mother of all, this earth, where these bodies came from, these beautiful cells. In divine love and light, Creator, change it. Let's give these a moment to all come online in your system. One more big unconditional love healing. White light bathing you, through you, cradling you, loving you. Unconditional love pouring all over you, lapping all over you. Soaking it in greater than you ever have before. What does it feel like to receive more love than you've ever experienced? Imagine now that that white light scoops you up ever so gently. Maybe it's underneath you, cradled like you were in giant hands, or maybe it scoops up under your armpits and carries you wee all the way back down into your body, into your seat. Take a little bath, let that white light wash over you. Notice that you have feet. Notice the bottoms of your feet. Notice those beautiful roots or columns of light. One more time, drink that earth energy all the way from the center of the earth, that heartbeat, liquid golden light coming to the bottoms of your feet. Drink it up through your ankles. And imagine that it pours up over your knees and then fills your thighs, pools in your hips. Liquid golden light moving up your torso to the crown of your head and the tips of your fingers. Affirm that you are grounded and centered in present time in this new version of you. Keep your eyes closed and breathe. We say thank you to the ancestry. Thank you to the teachers before us. Thank you to the sun and the moon and the stars and this whole wide universe. Thank you to the unseen support, the guides, angels, the fairies of the universe. Thank you to this earth and all she possesses, including us. Thank you to each one of you for helping co-create this and your higher selves for bringing you here. And thank you to Source. It is done. It is done. It is done. Continue to breathe. Maybe raise the corners of your mouth in a smile. You just did life-changing work. And it probably didn't feel like work. Taking your time when you're ready. Some of you might want to head right off to sleep after this. You could stay snuggled in. Some of you might want to slowly open your eyes. Total permission. If there's anything you want to write down, go ahead. You might have to remember how to use a pen. That's okay. That was really big. Really big. Like really big. You might not know it for a little while. That's okay. Like we said, this is going to keep running. All we did was really like start this process. So you got rid of a lot just now tonight, but it's going to keep going. This is designed to be gentle on your system. So it'll go as long as it needs to get as deep as you are willing to let it go, which is as far as you're comfortable. Don't worry. You can listen to this over and over again if you want to. Some of you may not, that's fine too. I'm going to talk at you for a few minutes, and then if anybody, yeah, holy moly, Jen, I agree. That was real big. I love you too, Steph. Anybody want to share in the chat? As you're like coming back, no need to rush. I'll talk for a few more minutes. But if anybody wants to share, what were the emotions? This is the one thing it would be yummy to remember. No need to if you don't worry. But what were the emotions that you felt when you were in the future with all those things that you maybe want? Because we said we're something better, which is my favorite phrase. because the universe always brings me or something better. Okay, held, relief, excitement, warmth, joy, enormous love, safe and loved, love, freedom, giddy excitement and joy, inspiration, satisfaction, richness, pure bliss, nourishment, excitement, safety, freedom, expansion, love, fulfilled, joyful. I was asleep. Yeah. Incredibly delicious, bliss, joy, delight, gratitude. Joy, genuine happiness. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Huge shift from where we started at the beginning, I hope. Yes. Seems like. All right. So let me tell you quickly about something that's coming up in case some of you want on the early bird. Yeah, shedding of the unwanted, and so grateful for it. In case some of you want to know this ahead of time, and then I have an assignment for you for how to carry this forward. Okay, we've planted the fertile ground. Truly, there's nothing you need to do, but I have a fun assignment that will help you let this in easier. So some of you have taken Master Your Magic with me. It's my signature course that comes around every year, and it's not open yet. You can't sign up yet, but it's about to shortly. And I have a list, like an actual little list of a piece of paper on my desk. And all year, as people have been asking me for this, I've been writing names on the list. And what I'm going to do is, when the course is just about to open, I'm going to reach out to just the people on the short list and let in pre-early birds before it actually launches. And those people are going to get a secret bonus. So I'm only telling you about this in case you want on that list. If you don't know what this is, it's my intuitive development course. It's now 5 months long. It's pretty incredible. It's life-changing. You get to take it again every year for free. And there's going to be a whole bunch more information about it. But if anybody wants to get on the short list, or you want to know more about it in case you want to get on the short list, then shoot me a quick email and I'll write your name down. There's no fancy system. It literally is a piece of scratch paper on my desk all year. Okay, here's your homework assignment. You got 9 minutes. I'm gonna tell you what and then why. All right, we've been sitting a while. I'm feeling real fidgety. So all you need to remember, all you not need to, but could if you want to, recall was the emotions that you just listed, the emotions that you felt. You can forget about what you asked for if you want to, or not, but whatever. You don't really need to do anything, at least not anything that you think you need to do. Your higher self will prompt you if there is action to take, so don't worry. Your higher self is the rest of you, your soul, the infinite part. We didn't talk about that yet. I want you to hold those feelings like a little North Star, like a guiding light. Do things that evoke those feelings, amplify them. Think thoughts that evoke those feelings. If there is a feeling that's the opposite of that, and you catch yourself in it, be like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna amplify you. Because that's what we do with our negative feelings. We amplify our negative feelings. Pay attention to this. It's really fucked up when you recognize it. We have a negative feeling and we're like, oh no, anger, resentment, guilt. And then we just like grab fuel and we start dumping it on there like coal on a fire. It's ridiculous. Yeah, and that other thing and the one time, But we don't really do that when we have a positive emotion. When was the last time you were like, oh, this is delight? And then you started shoveling coal on the delight. Bigger, delight. Start doing that. Start doing that with your emotions that we listed. Okay, so you tap on genuine happiness, and don't worry if it's hard to make that happen. If you spent 1 second, one second more per day in genuine happiness, enormous shift in your life. Enormous. Because here's how it works. The universe queued up all your desires for you. Not just the ones you asked for, but like all of them. The ones that you have like deep in here that you're not even really aware of, those ones, all of them. They're all queued up and the universe is like, ready, 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 you're ready? And you're like, I'm cranky. So you have to be a vibrational match for it to come in. It's like the gears have to line up for them to chink into place. Otherwise, you're just doing this. Do, do, do. So when you're over here on cranky and the universe is trying to bring you genuine happiness and joy and bliss and delight and gratitude, do, 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 do. Hard to get in there. But then when you stumble on something, like next time it rains and you're like, oh my God, where are galoshes? Who even knows that? Cara said, I'm going outside because this is abundance. I'm going to play in the rain. All of a sudden, click. And then what happens? All those desires, right into your life. You have to do anything for it? No. So what's really nice is that if you catch yourself in one of those little moments of like delight, throw coal on the fire, milk it, savor it. Can you make it last 2 seconds longer? Even just recognize, oh my gosh, I'm in such a good mood right now. This feels so good. Thank you. I'm so happy. I love it. I'm so delighted. Oh my gosh, this is great. Don't pick up your phone. Don't look at the news. Don't just distract yourself from it. Just stay just another few seconds. Milk it, savor it a little bit longer. Like your favorite food, you eat differently than other food, right? I hope. You're like, okay? I want you to do that with those emotions that you wrote down. What else did we have? Like, there was a lot of delight and a lot of bliss, safety, excitement, nourishment, freedom, expansion, love. When you hit on those, then you like, them, okay? Just for one more second, just for one tiny bit longer. Vibrance. Cheesecake. This becomes your cheesecake. Yes, Amy, exactly. Vibrance, cheesecake. Put those two together. How do you eat cheesecake or whatever your favorite thing is? Like the best gelato you've ever eaten? Are you just like, no, you're like, okay? Even just one tiny bit more. Don't worry if bliss doesn't pop up again in your life after tonight for like 6 weeks. That's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Because here's the other secret. I got 3 minutes left. I'm going to use them. The other secret is when you fall asleep, this becomes this. You released resistance. You got out of your own way. And the universe was like, quick, get in there with their desires. Because we're cranky freaking a lot of the time. And really good stuff still happens to us. Sometimes the universe has to bring it in tricky ways. Like you really need a new car, but you don't really think you're worthy and you're kind of like stressed about it all the time. And so you get rear-ended and you think it's the end of the world. And then insurance buys you a new car and you're like, oh, I got a new car. I had to do it in kind of a hard way. You can do it easier. And this process of like cheesecaking your bliss, that's what we're going to call it. Cheesecaking your bliss. This process, see, Steph's cat knows. This process helps make it a little easier so you don't have to get rear-ended. The other secret is that you have a point of attraction. Universe is trying to bring it to you. Here's you're tuned to crankiness and it's not coming in. But guess who else has a point of attraction? Your higher self. Guess who's always locked in with all your desires and calling them in powerfully all the time? Your higher self. If that wasn't the case, our lives would look like a shit show. This whole like, your thoughts create your reality. Have you ever stopped and thought about that? That's terrifying. If somebody followed you around and was like, throughout the day, how many positive thoughts versus negative thoughts does Cara have? How many times does she think about fear versus abundance? And I practiced this for a really long time and it's still terrifying if that were truly the case, right? Yeah, scary. And that's true-ish, but your higher self's thoughts also create your reality. And your higher self is thinking all the good stuff all the time, 100%. So that sort of like tips the scale a lot in your favor. So don't panic. The good stuff's coming. Our job is to let it in a little easier. Let's like grease the wheels. Let it in a little easier. I love you. I'm so grateful. Stephanie's cat's typing and typing literally. And if that doesn't sum up the whole healing session, I don't know what does. Mic drop. I'm out. That's it. I love you. No, Steph, that was absolutely perfect. Could not have ended on a better note. I love you all so much. If anybody has questions, shoot me an email. My heart is so full. I love getting to do this with you. Yeah, he was really into it, Steph. Thank you all so much. You'll get a recording if you don't email my team or reach out to me. Thank you all from all over the world. It's so fun. Love, 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 love. Night, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you all.